Welcome back to the Seeing Red MMA podcast. Here, I am your host, Dustin. UFC Vegas 74 just ended. As you can see behind me, the post show is going on right now. So let's dive right into it. Kai Kara-France versus Amir Albazi went all 5 rounds. Split decision is awarded to Albazi. I was leaning more towards Kai Kara-France. I thought he landed a lot more strikes just by looking at the numbers here. If we look at the full fight, 133 total strikes to 64, 2 takedowns for Kai Kara-France, and 99 significant strikes, all for Kai Kara-France. So just the numbers alone makes you lean towards Kai Kara-France. Not saying it was a robbery or anything like that, because, I mean, as we all know, for being MMA fans for as long as we have, if like me, you know that some fights, if they are close and the guy you thought win, doesn't necessarily mean that it was a robbery. In this case, that is what happened. It was not a robbery by any means there. It was just a very close and competitive fight. I mean, congrats to both these guys. Just an outstanding performance there. I mean, they didn't stop swinging. There was barely any breaks going on in that fight. They kept swinging until the very final second of that 5th round. Me personally, I just thought Kai was landing better shots there. I know that Albazi was landing as well too, but I thought Kai's shots, they were more visible. You could tell when he got hit or when Albazi got hit, but as you can see behind me, I think maybe that back control and that submission attempt did play a big part, and I believe that was in the, was it the second round? Second or third round, I believe it was. It just ended, so I'm not going to rewatch it. But, man, what an outstanding fight by both of these gentlemen here. I mean, I know we got Pantoja and Moreno coming up here in July for the actual belt, but I don't think either of these guys necessarily deserved a title shot off of a victory tonight, especially Kai, just because he's already had that interim title shot against Moreno before this one, and he did lose there. So Albazi, I mean, he does make a pretty strong case for getting a title shot, but I would like to see him fight the loser of Pantoja versus Moreno. And if he can do this again and get another win, whether if it's a close split decision or if he just goes out there and runs through him, then I say, hey, give the guy a title shot. I mean, number 7 just beat number 3. It's hard to deny the man a title shot. I mean, I just thinking long term here. I know he wants that title shot in Abu Dhabi. I mean, that's October, July. I mean, it sounds like it's a decent time frame there, but just to make sure if he was to get one per se, I would like to see both fighters at peak performance. So if they do give him a title shot, I don't think you'll see it in Abu Dhabi. I think you'll probably get that maybe in like November, December-ish on like a co-main event or something like that. That would be pretty cool. But I just don't think this win was enough for Albazi to get the shot. But hey, I mean, we've seen title shots handed out for crazier reasons. So congrats to Albazi. I mean, even though I didn't agree with the decision necessarily, still a close fight. I mean, I could see why you gave it to him, but just looking at the numbers, I mean, I had Kai Kara-France winning 3-2. Definitely the first round, the third, and the 5th. So those are the rounds that I gave to Kai. Oh, excuse me, first round, 4th, and 5th. So I gave him those the first round and then the last 2 rounds. So basically, the rounds sandwiched in between, I'll give those to Albazi. But I digress. Co-main event was probably fight of the night. I mean, I don't know who they're going to give the performance bonuses to. That they haven't been announced just yet. But if Alex Caceres does not get a performance bonus for the absolute ass whooping he put on Daniel Pineda, I'll be very shocked because, man, he was eating up Pineda the whole time. I mean, that body shot to the liver, when Pineda got hit with that and he just kind of hunched over, I was like, oh, it's done. And especially that was in the 3rd round too. I knew Caceres had to go. He had to keep on his bike and keep moving, especially if he wanted to get that finish there. Even though it didn't go to a finish, it went all the way to a decision there. I mean, it was pretty obvious that unanimous decision gave it to Caceres. But at the same time, though, Pineda, I saw people, I don't know, it's not his fight name. His name's The Pit, obviously. But I saw people calling him the Texas Zombie instead of the Korean Zombie, which I agree, which it definitely suits him because, man, he was eating some big shots and just smiling. I mean, if it wasn't for the ref in there, I think maybe any other ref probably may have stepped in there because there was at certain points where I was like, I don't, even though he's continuing to fight and still try and push through, I don't think it's a good idea to let him keep fighting because he has suffered a lot of damage there. I mean, the body kicks, and then he started bringing it up top as well too. So I was like, ugh, don't like the way this looks. I mean, he is getting beat up pretty bad. He was able to survive though, so good for him. But man, Caceres, I know he called out Volkanovski, which, I mean, let's be real, Caceres, you're not getting a title shot anytime soon, bud. Sorry, I know you're kind of getting long in the tooth there, but hey, it is what it is. You still got a great win under your belt. I say give him Billy Q, Bill Allegio, Barboza. Those are the three guys that stick out to me that you give to Caceres. Guys that have been around for a while, that have been in the rankings at featherweight, and are kind of guaranteed to put on good fights as well too. Because I mean, Barboza, that's the one name that stuck out to me. I'm like, man, they're both getting up there in age. Let's have both of these strikers just go out there and leave it all on the line. I probably would give the edge to Barboza, but man, Caceres has been looking so good as of late. I wouldn't be shocked if Caceres was able to get another decision win, especially over a guy like Barboza there, who kind of doesn't do well going off of his back foot. And either way, Caceres, you put on a performance that was like no other. I mean, I don't think we've seen a Caceres performance like this where went all 3 rounds and he was just on the pedal the whole time. And even with his defense as well too on the ground, I mean, Pineda is known for his submissions and the way he was able just to kind of defend that and keep it moving. He's definitely gotten better. I know he kind of grew up in the UFC and we've seen him evolve. So every time we see Caceres, we're like, yeah, we know Caceres. I mean, he's been there forever. But, man, he has really gotten good over the years there. So he definitely should get a performance bonus, maybe even fight of the night for that one. I'll tell you who else deserves fight of the night. Jim frickin' Miller. God damn, son. This is a message to any lightweights out there or anybody trying to make their UFC debut on short notice. If they offer you Jim Miller, don't take it. You will get slept in the first fucking round. This is the second time Jim Miller has done that, and this one was brutal. Oh, straight left, dropped him against the cage. He was basically out against the cage, Jesse Butler was, and then that monstrous left uppercut just slumped him up against the fence there. Oh, that was such a vicious KO. And, I mean, Jim Miller's still doing the damn thing. My God. And the amount of strikes that he did land in this fight here, too. I mean, he's 35-17. That's his record. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Slow down. Like, if Jim Miller doesn't fight on UFC 300, we fucking riot. And I saw someone say, please keep Jim Miller out of the Apex and keep him in live arenas. I agree, but I don't think Jim Miller really gives a shit. I think Jim Miller is just a dog, and he's down to fight anybody. Look at this. Total strikes landed, 3 for Jim Miller. Significant strikes, 3. Knockouts, or knockdowns is what it's labeled, 1. 3 punches and a knockout. 23 seconds. God damn, Jim Miller. He's still doing the damn thing. I'm so impressed with that victory. That was so nice. I mean, congrats to him. That was amazing. Another fight that I was very happy to see this guy win. If you've been on Twitter recently, you know about the drama that's been going on with Mr. Tim Elliott and his ex-wife and his former training partner, Kevin Kroom. His ex-wife and Kevin Kroom are pieces of shit, so I hope they enjoy their time together. But, man, it's so nice to see Tim Elliott get a win like this. It was dicey there for a second. I know Victor hit him with that head kick and kind of got us worried there. But, I mean, if you look at the numbers, 153 total strikes to 102 total strikes. 153 in this case, for Tim Elliott. And then 6 takedowns for Tim Elliott. That's across all 3 rounds there. Significant strikes, 28. I mean, congrats on that decision win. I bet that feels really good. Man, Tim Elliott's just a dog, dude. I mean, he's been around for so long. I remember when he was in the UFC, got cut, and then got brought back through the Ultimate Fighter, fought DJ, and then he's just been in the UFC ever since. Just a mainstay of the lighterweight divisions. Fluctuate between 135 and 125. I hope he just stays. Hopefully, I mean, he just gets favorable matchups because, I mean, he's just one of those guys where it's just go, 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 go all the time, and he just never stops there. So, yeah, I think Tim Elliott deserved that win for sure. He needed that win. What was kind of gross, though, was the fight before that. Kyrene Silva versus Ketlin Souza. That was nasty. Knee bar or ankle heel hook, whatever. Either way, Souza's knee blew out in that submission. Her knee completely just popped. And immediately after it popped, tapped. And nobody wants to see that happen, especially in like kind of the younger fighters there, because I mean, it was a minute 45 into the first round, so it wasn't like deep into the fight where we could see, oh, she'll be back, she's got good skill. No, she got her knee destroyed within 2 minutes of the first round, which sucks. That sucks so much. It was so hard to watch there. I mean, I feel bad. Hopefully she recovers, and hopefully the UFC understands that that's not cool. It's not cool, man. So hopefully they give her another shot fighting in there. I don't know how many fights she has had in the UFC. I don't really care either, but still, I mean, you get your knee destroyed like that. That's not good. That's not good. Now, I will admit, I did fall asleep during the Abukar Nurmagomedov and Zaleski dos Santos. I fell asleep because I've been up since like 5 this morning. I had to go to work. And this card started reasonably late as well. I think the prelim started at like 3, which on fight night cards where I work, they usually start at like 2, over by like 8. So this one went a little bit longer than I was expecting. I didn't even check the time until I was already at work, and I was like, cool, I get to watch the whole card from home. But at the same time, though, I had to watch the whole card from home on very little sleep and going to work all day. But yeah, I don't know exactly what happened in this one. I saw some shit going on where like Abukar slapped Dos Santos in between like one of the rounds or something. I don't know if there's like a point deduction or anything like that, but Dos Santos does get the unanimous decision win. Or was it split decision? Excuse me, split decision win. So I like Dos Santos there. I don't like Abubakar. I take him or leave him. Just get him to the PFL. I could give a shit. Daniel Santos versus Johnny Munoz. That was kind of a weird fight there because there's like a lot of fouls in that one from what I remember. I was kind of starting to fall asleep during that one. I just got a weighted blanket for my birthday not too long ago, and if you guys do not have a weighted blanket, invest in one. It is so nice. It's like being hugged by. I don't even know. It's so lovely. I love my weighted blanket. It's so nice. So that was kind of the beginning of the end there when I started laying under that. But yeah, looks like Santos did get the unanimous decision win. 134 strikes to 64, 3 takedowns to 1, 1 reversal, and 50 significant strikes. So just based off the numbers, definitely looks like he deserved that win. I'll tell you what also sucked is not only having Jim Miller, his old ass, getting another win on the card, but you got Andrei Arlovski, which was bittersweet, getting knocked out. His old ass getting knocked out. I know it's very different, heavyweight, lightweight, whatever the case is, but a lot of people talk about the comparisons of their career because they have been fighting for so fucking long, since we were in diapers, guys. So, yeah, Andrei Arlovski gets knocked out in the second round about a little bit over halfway through, and did not see that coming because Dontel Mays sucks. I mean, obviously he got the win tonight, but typically I'm used to seeing Dontel Mays completely shit the bed, or at least face fuck someone in north-south position like we all remember him doing. But I guess good win to Dontel Mays. I mean, he definitely needed that, but yeah, it sucks to see Andre get knocked out, especially when he's been in such a tear lately because everyone's been so impressed with how much he's just such a vet, and he's gotten so much smarter over the years there. it just sucks to see him go out like that. So it's just like, man, sucks. Sucks. But as you can see behind me, here's the Jim Miller knockout. So I can't show it or else I'll get demonetized. But you can kind of see what happened right there behind me. There's the left. He's out. And uppercut to the land and win and ghost you go. But yeah, I can't move my head to show you it because I will get demonetized. So I'm just gonna cover my head, but you get the picture, you get the idea. John Castaneda, also known as Sexy Mexi, got the decision win. Man, these guys were throwing down. They were throwing down hard. I know Gafarov got that point deduction in the second round, I believe, for that. It was basically like an intentional headbutt. Like he dove in with his head first. So, yeah, definitely a well-deserved point deduction, I would say. But John Castaneda, I'm a fan of his. I think his striking, I think the way he moves, just his flow, I like it a lot. Just reminds me of just one of those just high-level kickboxer guys who just comes in there to swing, and we all know we like that in the UFC, that's for sure. So, good win for him. Tajikistan had kind of a weird night because Jamie Malarkey was beating the shit out of Muhammad Naimov, and then in the second round, about 3 minutes in, got knocked out with a right hook. And that was a short notice fight for Naimov, and he just gets the knockout win with one punch. And what I heard is that Naimov, or people in Tajikistan, because it's a brand new country that's kind of starting to get some influx of fighters in there. They were in a soccer arena, and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and they were all in there watching Naimov and Gustav, how do you say his last? Gafurov, watching them fight. And they're the only two Tajikistans on the card there. So, I mean, that's kind of cool to see there when they showed the video. I was like, wow, all right, cool, pretty cool. Got a new country kind of getting under the belt. And I know they're the Ovs. Both their last names end in O-V. Excuse me. Both their names end in O-V, but these guys came to swing. I mean, they were throwing everything. They were throwing the kitchen sink at their opponents there. But, yeah, I mean, Jamie Malarkey got caught bad. I mean, some people might say, oh, a little bit early or whatever, but I mean, when they cut the camera to show Malarkey after the fight was stopped, he was having trouble getting up. As soon as I see that, cool, perfect stoppage. In the moment, I was like, I could have went a little bit longer, but then I saw him like struggling to stand up and like falling over himself, telling Herb, "I'm good, I'm good." No, that was a good stoppage. That was a reasonable stoppage. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but and probably Malarkey is. But, yeah, Elise Reed, or as I like to call the female Mark Zuckerberg, because she looks exactly like the female Mark Zuckerberg, pulled out a decision win over Jin Yu Fry, which I was very surprised at because Elise Reed sucks. Just going to say that flat out. She sucks. Every time she was throwing punches in, chin straight up in the air, if the punch she's throwing, the other hand is down by her chest. She was open all day for counter hooks left and right. And, yeah, Jin Yu Fry, I think, kind of just blew her gas tank there a little bit. I think the front kicks were a little bit of an issue for Fry there. But, yeah, definitely the more talented one between those two females did not win. Elise Reed is not good. She's not a good fighter. No disrespect to her, but, I mean, she's an unranked strawweight. Yeah, you know how I feel about unranked women's fighters. They are not the cream of the crop, as you would say. Damone Blackshear got a TKO win over Luan Lacerda, so that's kind of cool. I know Blackshear kind of fought one of the Basharat brothers last time, and people were not giving him a chance in the world, and came close to submitting Basharat with the triangle there. So to see him come back and get a TKO win like this, very cool to see. I was happy for him because I like the way he fights. He's very aggressive. Felipe Lins with the 2012 Skater Boy haircut got the decision win over the guy I did not know was Russian based off his name, Max Grishin. Yeah, that's the least Russian name I've ever heard for the most Russian-looking guy I've ever seen. So, yeah, good. And I know that was at light heavyweight, too, because it's the first fight at light heavyweight. And Felipe Lins, I mean, they were both landing really big shots as well, too, going back and forth. Sorry, I'm scratching my toe. I know, I'm disgusting. Just got an itch. And we're good. But, yeah, I mean, Felipe Lins, is a good win for him. He definitely needed that. I think he's on like a 3-fight streak in the UFC right now, but first fight at light heavyweight, open up the entire card on the prelims, especially against a tough guy like Max Grisham. And I mean, they were landing some hard shots. Felipe with that overhand right and the left hook and switching stances, and then Max Grisham throwing those elbows as well too. So it wasn't like he was given some gimme fight or anything like that. He definitely had to fight through some adversity, but at the same time, though, I mean, I'm impressed with Felipe. Overall, I mean, this card was pretty good. I mean, the prelims were kind of ass, I'm not going to lie, but the main card was phenomenal. I mean, obviously I fell asleep versus Dos Santos fight, and then Kyrene Silva, I watched her totally destroy that young lady's knee. Tim Elliott, I'm glad to see him get a win after being cheated on. Jim Miller, the man who will destroy you if you're making your UFC debut against him. Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres, my God. And very, very, very close main event against Amir Albazi and Kai Kara France there. Like I said, I did give it to Kai Kara France. I might have to rewatch the fight to get an accurate scorecard, but based off the numbers alone, it's hard for me not to go with Kai. But, yeah, this is UFC Vegas 74 there in the books. Next week, we have the pay-per-view coming up. Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana for the women's bantamweight belt. And we'll give a sneak preview of this card. I won't talk about any of the fights there, but, yeah, it's fight night material. If there was no belt on it, it's a fight night. Amanda Nunes, Irene Aldana, Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush. And then you got Mike Malott versus Adam Fugit, Dan Ige, Nate Landwehr, Eric Anders, Andre Bayut. Oh, Nasruddin fuck it. Versus Chris Curtis. Khalil Roundtree. I heard Dawkins is out of his fight with Khalil Roundtree, so we'll see if they get a replacement for him. But Miranda Maverick, Jasmine, blah, blah, blah. One of the Zahabis, Kyle Nelson, Blake Builder. Sorry, Canada. I know you guys have been wanting a pay-per-view card or just even a UFC card in general, but looks like you're going to have to wait a while before you get a new one because this card is absolute fucking dog shit. Besides the co-main event and then the prelim headliner and then the prelim co-main event. Yeah. Other than that, that was UFC Vegas 74. It's in the books. Till next time, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at SeeingRedMMA. If you like the videos, make sure to leave a comment if you have one. Other than that, guys, like I always say, you guys have yourself a wonderful day. Till next time, see ya.